Hey, what's going on? Jesse at Humble Crew Detailing. Today I get to coat something kind of special. I want to show you guys a little bit of what else we do other than detailing cars. So the story is, I've been married to my wife, I don't know, 3 years now? You lose count after a while, right? Been married to my wife about 3-ish years, and for the first time in our marriage, she bought some real shoes. Okay, so some unboxing. Okay, we got Nike Air Force Ones. Yeah. Oh, see them? Iconic sole, right? Hey, wait a minute. It says boy size 4.5. That's hilarious. Well, whatever. I'm sure they have a conversion that matches. So we're gonna be ceramic coating my wife's shoes today, and let's talk a little bit of what it does, right? What is a ceramic coating? So traditionally speaking, ceramic coatings, at least in my business, are applied to cars as well as any kind of like leather or fabric in the interior to make it very hydrophobic and stain resistant. It also resists UV damage over time and prevents like fading and cracking. You can actually do the same thing for shoes. So I started ceramic coating like random stuff around my house, like the fridge, and well, now we're gonna be doing Sandy's shoes here for my wife's shoes. So you can see these shoes right here, they got the Air Force One badge. My wife was at Foot Locker and she was like, oh, you know, this Nike looks like the other Nike. I'm like, baby, it's not the same. You gotta get the little clip right here and the sole, right? This iconic Air Force One sole, right? I'm not a sneakerhead, but come on now. Everybody knows what this is. So let's talk about what you need to ceramic coat. Let's talk about what we're even using today. So I am using Geon Leather Shield, okay? This is a product that Geon makes specifically for leather. This is a product that bonds to the leather and provides a hydrophobic barrier. It does not change the texture of the leather. And so traditionally speaking, I mean, this bottle I used about half of it to coat a client of mine. He had a Camry, and the entire, like all of his leather seats and whatnot are coated in this, and so it's gonna stay looking crispy for a long time. You know, protected from the sun, not gonna fade, not gonna crack, and it's not gonna stain either. So that's what this is. So when you're working with ceramic coatings, you always gotta wear gloves. On YouTube, you're gonna see them wearing masks and stuff. I don't think it's that serious. Okay? They're probably gonna yell at me for that, saying like, Jesse, it is serious. But you know, whatever. So you gotta wear gloves. And the reason why is obviously you want to protect your hands and your skin, but another thing that's important too is that you don't want any grease from your hands to get onto the surface, because grease, any kind of oil, is going to get in the way of the ceramic coating. Now, these are new shoes, and so normally what you would have to do for shoes before you coat them is you need to clean them, obviously, but then the next important step is you need to degrease them. And so you need to spray on a fabric safety greaser, scrub it real good and get all the grease off of it, then essentially rinse it off, wipe it off, dry it off, whatever. And then you need to have a dry surface before you coat. And so obviously these are brand new, so not really going to be that much of an issue. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to delace all these ones. Go ahead and do that. And through the magic of photo editing and video editing, these shoes are just going to magically get unlaced in about 3 seconds. So now we got the naked shoe with the, I think this is what they call the tongue, hanging out, right? Just hanging out. Ooh, you don't want to crease these either. Sandy don't care. Sandy don't care about that. She's gonna wear these shoes and destroy them. So that's why I'm coating them. Let's talk about what ceramic coatings are and what they are not, right? So Facebook advertises ceramic coatings as these things that you can light on fire and like run a shopping cart into your paint and it'll just buff right off. Sorry, that's not true. That's not what this stuff does. But what it does do is it provides real chemical resistance against things like salt, dirt and grime on cars, like it would protect it from tar, tree sap, bug guts, bird poop, all that kind of stuff. It makes it really, really easy to clean by building a hydrophobic barrier. Think of it like a really high quality non-stick frying pan. Like let's pretend you bake on some cheese and it should be a pain in the butt to wash off. You go to wash it and the baked on cheese rolls right off and you're like, huh, okay, that was easy. kind of like that, but for your paint. And in this case, it's for that for your shoes. Now, on cars, the durability can be up to like 5 years, depending on how you take care of it. On shoes, I'm getting mixed results. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. It depends on how you clean your shoes and how you maintain it. Coatings are not this miracle, like, oh my goodness, I can just, you know, go forever without washing it. That's not how they work, right? But unfortunately, that's how they're advertised. You will never hear that from me though, because I don't believe in that kind of fairy tale advertising. So, to apply a coating, you need a microfiber applicator. In this case, this one's made by CarPro. It's like a mitt. It's really interesting. It's like a foamy side on this side, and then on this side, there's not really much to it. And then what you would do is you either put your hand in here and apply it like that, like a mitt. I personally don't do that. I just hold it like a normal person. And then you apply your Geon leather or any kind of leather ceramic coating, really. If it specifically says like leather ceramic coating, that's what you do. So you apply pretty liberally. You don't want to cheap out on that. So see, that's about how much I use. I'm going to go ahead and start applying it to the shoe. So you can apply this to pretty much all of the exterior surfaces of the shoe. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like piece by piece, just like that. Apply to the soles, because I know like this area right here is probably going to be notoriously dirty. And I'm probably going to lay it on a little thicker on the sole. Generally, a bottle like this is good for like a lot of stuff. Like you can probably do an entire car interior, and then, well, that's what this is. This bottle right here is just left over from a car interior. So I'm just like, you know, I might as well use it on, I don't know, something else. I'm gonna lay it on real thick on the sole. Do it in the front. Let's go ahead and get the tongue. Sounds gross to say, but get it on the tongue. This is really easy to do, to be honest. Like this compared to like coating a car is like, anybody can do this. The ceramic coating, you know, once this cures to the, you know, leather that the shoe's made out of, once it cures, it's going to create a hydrophobic barrier protecting it from like all sorts of staining and whatnot. It's not like this miracle product that like prevents maintenance or prevents the thing from getting dirty. This shoe will still get dirty. But you'll find that like because it's coated, it's really, really easy to clean. So let's hope, and I guess we're gonna find out, because my wife never cleans her shoes. Like I've never seen her do it ever. We're gonna find out how clean this can stay on it. So I'm gonna apply it really thick on the soles, just because like that's probably where this is gonna get the absolute dirtiest, or show the most amount of dirt. So we're gonna see how this holds up. Now you can see why it's important to wear gloves. You can see like my hands are actually getting some of this coating on it, right? You don't want this going in your skin. Probably not good for you. So, that on real thick, just like that, all over. Finally, let's get this backside real good. You'll find too that the further you go in, you don't have to use so much, because your applicator is going to be saturated in the coating. That, do the back over here. Okay, great. So now this is done, right? This shoe right here is done. Aesthetically, you can't really tell the difference. One more thing too, you do kind of want to buff out the excess. You don't want like big old streaks of it anywhere. Unlike traditional ceramic coatings where you have to like buff it off with a second towel and whatnot, leather ceramic coatings, you actually don't want to do that. You want to lay it on very, very thick, and you want it to kind of soak into the leather. That's really what you want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and brush off any excess, or essentially like smooth out any excess that I'm gonna find on here. Okay, so that is done right here. This is done. So aesthetically, you can't really tell if there's any difference. This has more of a satin finish to it now, but once it dries, I think that at most it's going to like either darken it or enrich the white. So, because I know on my client's Camry, after we applied it, you can't even tell that it's coated. But let me tell you, once you spill something on there, you can definitely tell. And in a couple of years, you'll definitely be able to tell what was coated. So we're gonna go and do the other one. lay it on real thick. Yeah, and if you're gonna buy a bottle of this stuff just to use for the shoe, I mean, to be honest, just use as much as you want, because this bottle's gonna last you forever. Unless you got a bunch of shoes or a bunch of leather to coat, then yeah, realistically, use as much of this product as you want. On shoes, it's a lot more forgiving if you, I don't even know how you can mess this up, to be honest. Unless you like leave a bunch on it, and you just purposely don't wipe off the excess and it leaves a smear. Or like if you leave a smear on like a matte finish or a satin finish, I think that you could probably mess it up that way. But aside from that, this stuff is pretty easy to use. You just, come on, you're watching me do it, right? This is really easy. Quite literally, I mean, I think anybody who takes a little bit of time and does a little homework or watches this video could do it, because it's not hard at all. So I'm just applying an extra layer onto the soles, just because, like I said, this is the area that gets the dirtiest. So I'm applying super thick here, especially this front area. Okay, great. So I've applied it to the whole shoe. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just go through one more time and smooth it out, so any I don't leave any streaks or anything like that on the shoe. Just like that. All right, perfect. When you're done with your coatings, do yourself a favor, close the cap, call it a day. Go ahead and wipe all this extra before my table was accidentally ceramic coated. So, after you ceramic coat your shoes, let these things sit totally, don't wear them out for at least 24 hours. If you can help it, 48 hours is even better. The longer you let the stuff cure, the better chance you have of this stuff lasting a long time. Ceramic coatings, they do take a while to cure because it's quite literally liquid quartz. That's what this is. But once this cures, we'll be doing a couple durability tests. I don't know, maybe I'll spill some ketchup on it. Scary. Ketchup on white Nikes. Oof. Man, I know some brothers who'll kill me for that. So, but that's how you ceramic coat shoes and any kind of leather. It's really not that hard. It's all in the prep work. So you gotta make sure that your shoes are either brand new or you clean them very, very well. But aside from that, ain't nothing to it. It's pretty easy. So this is Jesse at Humble Crew Detailing, signing out.